sleepless nights, and sleepless nights turn into love.
What's going on, you guys? It's been a couple weeks. This is gonna be the first video of me just driving around talking about stuff. So I actually am trying a different setup. So for this, I just have, it does look kind of awkward from here, but I just have a tripod set up in my passenger seat. So we're gonna see how that works out today. Hopefully it doesn't tip over and throw a camera somewhere. It's been kind of a weird couple of weeks, just because I don't know, like, where they went, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but it's all just flown by. Like, I've been hanging out with people and doing stuff almost every single night, and it's just weird to, like, leave the house at 8 o'clock in the morning, go to the gym, come back, go to class, do homework until 4 or 5 at night, and then I go out and do stuff with other people, and it's just weird that doing that every day for a couple weeks just made them go by like a blur. And I don't have anything to, like, remember them by, which is the other weird part. I guess it does mean it's been a good couple weeks if I don't have anything to complain about. It is kind of scary to think that there's only a month left of college after tomorrow. Like, we've only got 4 weekends left, it's finals week, and then we all go home. I'll most likely never see any of my roommates again, besides the one that lives in my same town. It's just weird because I've spent the last 9 months with all these guys, just hanging out and getting to know them and, like, finding out stuff they like, don't like, all that, like, really getting a good friendship going. Well, it's just really weird to know that in a month I will probably never see any of them again. And yeah, there are, like, a lot of things where it's kind of hard with these guys just because there's just something that doesn't work out between us, but it's always been chill for the most part, and I've never had huge problems. It's just the transition from high school to college was pretty hard because my high school only had like 100 people in my senior class, and I knew all of them really well, and just going somewhere where I had to start fresh and not know very many people was just a really weird experience for me. But after the last 9 months of doing it, I actually feel like with the last 9 months, I've just really been trying to get out of my comfort zone and do things that I wouldn't normally do, or just try new things, all kinds of stuff like that. And I just don't want it to end, I guess, which it is school. So it's kind of weird to say, you know, I don't want school to end, but getting in that same routine with class and just meeting new people every day and just trying to make efforts to go out of my way. And I know for a fact I'm coming back. It's just the summer is going to be such a weird time because I don't know what I'll be doing during then, because odds are I'll probably be working, or maybe I'll go serve a mission. I just don't know where I'm going to be in 3 months, and that's kind of scary to me. With school, there's definitely like a blanket of protection that just says I can expect to be in this place for the next while, and I think that's really nice because you just have like a constant, you know, this is what I'll be doing this week, and then anything above that is up to me, and I can just choose what to do with that. In these next couple months, I really got to decide where I want to take my life and what my passions are, what matters to me. And it's just kind of scary to know, like, in 5 years, I don't know where I'm going to be. Because for my whole life, I've been just going to school and always, like, knowing, yeah, after 10th grade, there's 11th grade. After 11th grade, there's 12th grade. And I just keep doing this until I graduate. But what happens when you graduate college? Like, I just don't know major in. I don't know where I'm going to be. I don't know what I want to do. And there's just so many different options and stuff that I could see myself doing. Typically with jobs and stuff, you get a degree, and then you go and work in that field for ever until you retire. And I just don't know what I want to do at all. Like, I really love photography. I love taking pictures. I just started doing this, but I love, like, just even doing vlogs, videos like this, just because they're fun to see what I look like, my thought process with things in life. I always thought for my whole life I'd be an engineer, because that's what my dad does. He's actually a chemist. My brother's doing mechanical engineering, so I just assumed, hey, both of the dudes in my family are in STEM. All of my cousins that are going to college are doing STEM. I feel like it's on me a little bit to do STEM. But after trying it, like, math class up there, it was Math 1080, which was like quantitative functions or something. I just couldn't see myself doing it, and actually, like, learning what engineering really is, it made it a lot harder to just assume that's where I was going. Another thing I want to talk about is how weird time is. I just don't understand how some weeks of the semester felt like forever. And I just felt like, this week is never gonna end. I'm so bored today, I don't know what's going on. Like, I want the weekend to be over so I can go back to seeing people. There's a dog in the road. Over the last couple weeks, I've just realized how fast time does fly. And even when I look back at high school, it's crazy to think how my freshman year felt like it was ages long, because I did swim team for that was the first sport I did. I'd never competitively swam before. I could barely learn or know how to swim. And just waking up early for practices, doing them, going to school, coming home, doing homework, and going to bed. That year felt like forever. And then in between my sophomore and junior year, I decided to run cross country, which back then I was fat, so it didn't seem like the right decision. But all of my friends were doing it and said, hey, just come try it out, see if it's something that you could see yourself doing. So I went to a couple practices, and although it sucked because I was out of shape and I didn't enjoy it, but I decided I was going to stick it out, and I put the work in, and I really just saw myself improve, not only physically but mentally as well. I just felt so much more strong in all aspects of my life. I just felt like I had more control over everything that was going on. And even with college now, when I first got here, it was terrifying because I didn't know a whole lot of people. I was kind of getting brought around by my roommates just to go meet some new people, and I felt super awkward at first. I had a hard time actually trying to be outgoing, so for a month or two I kind of kept to myself. If I could go back and do it again, I totally would have just not been passive for those 2 months. The first month or two is kind of where you meet all your people, and I didn't have that group my fall semester, and it was really hard to not only not have a solid group, but also just to be bouncing around groups trying to find one that did work out for me. When you join groups like that late, when everyone there has been friends for a month and a half and you're barely getting invited to stuff, you kind of feel like an outcast just because everyone already has that bond between each other and you're just kind of there. If you're ever in a point where it's something new, something fresh, go be confident, have fun, and definitely don't care what people think about you. That's another thing that set me back a ton my fall semester. I didn't know where I wanted to end up, so I just stuck to where I was comfortable, and that really set me behind. So I think one of the biggest things I could recommend anyone in that situation is don't be passive and do the things that you think would help you become better. And definitely do not stay comfortable. If you have one takeaway from this video, it is do not stay comfortable. Yeah, sure, maybe I feel awkward talking to a camera right now, driving around my town. If I wasn't doing this, I would be sitting on my couch doing nothing, just letting the time fly by instead of making something meaningful or trying out something new. And I just don't think my time is well spent that way. Being passive is just one of the worst things you can do. I was talking to some of my friends about their freshman year being down here at Snow College, and they just said yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of friends back then, but the problem with that was that he wasn't outgoing and he just stuck in his comfort group of his roommates are right here. They all have the same hobbies, let's just stick with it. And I don't know, it's just kind of weird. I don't think people understand how much of a difference it makes to just try and be a little bit outgoing, because that's where people kind of recognize you and see your face, and just putting yourself out there, being out there, going to events and stuff, it does make a difference, even though it might not be fun. And I definitely think it's worth just sucking it up for the first month or two. A personal story I can bring up with this is beginning of this semester, I really tried to make an effort to not just hang out with my roommates, which I do like hanging out with them. It's just more for me to go out and do, and there was just better people for me that I needed to meet. So I really just put in the effort to not stay home on nights. I'd rather just stay home and watch cartoons for a little bit and then go to bed after I do all my homework and get everything done for the day. Instead, I would go out and meet people, find someone that was doing something, hang out with them, and just keep making connections through different groups. And I definitely did feel awkward for a good month or two doing that. But after I actually found a couple different groups and people that I got along with really well, it made my college experience so much better because I could look forward to everything, I guess. Instead of just looking forward to the end of the nights where I can chill for a little bit and then go to bed, to hanging out with people and actually making real relationships and things that matter instead of just kind of passing time with video games and stuff. And I just feel like I'm so much more happy when I'm outgoing. It's a lot more work and it's a lot harder. But I do feel like I've made a lot more of a fun semester for myself. I'm definitely going to keep making more of these driving videos just because I think it's fun to kind of drive around and just talk about stuff that's going on. Hopefully I can keep coming up with ideas, and I'll see you guys in the next one.